Hey everybody, how you guys doing today? This is Jim from the Pain PT, and good to see you all. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you can support the channel, great. I welcome your comments and I welcome your likes, and also subscribe if you want to be alerted to future videos, which there'll be more, and success stories coming and other content coming your way. Today we're going to talk about the idea that the threat and danger exists in your brain, not in your body. The threat and danger exists in your brain, not in your body when it comes to these chronic somatic sensations, which I call BS, brain sensations. What you're experiencing when you've ruled out medical causes, when you've had your condition for a long period of time that goes beyond a normal healing period, when there's not any explainable medical cause or unexplained medical symptoms, when you know you have a history of some mental and emotional things from childhood, psychosocial things, stresses, adverse childhood events, traumas, PTSDs, anxiety, depression, things like that. When you look at the big picture and you realize that this is not my body causing this symptom, it's my brain that's producing this sensation because it feels threatened or in danger. This is the crux of these conditions. And again, most medical practitioners are not going to tell you this. They are body-based practitioners, from doctors all the way down to massage therapists, chiropractors, and physical therapists, and other healthcare workers. Not to say that there aren't people who are onto this and understand this, but that a large majority of people, health professionals, are completely body-based and are going to give you body-based reasons for these symptoms you have. And I'm here to tell you that most of the time, it's wrong. It's incorrect. Okay, unless you have absolute proof that it is your body causing these sensations. The brain is your most powerful organ in the body. It's the most powerful organ. It's the central computer. It has the ability to kick out any symptom, any physical sensation in your body. And I can attest to this with absolute confidence that this can happen, and because I have seen it myself, not only in symptoms I've had, but in hundreds of other people, if not thousands of people I've worked with who have had a huge variety of different types of physical sensations that are not caused by their body. They were completely and solely produced by their brain. And when the brain feels threatened or in danger, it will produce physical sensations in your body. Now, here's the biggest thing to understand, that most of the time, the brain is kicking out these sensations in your body from what it believes is dangerous and threatening. But in actuality, there is no true danger or threat. There is no true danger or threat. And the reason why the brain does this is because the operating system of that prehistoric limbic brain has not been updated. It has not evolved over the thousands of years enough to distinguish between a true danger and threat and what we call a perceived danger or threat. Things that are perceived dangers and threats in the brain can come from something quite simple, like a smell or a sound you hear or a person you see or somebody's tone of voice or somebody says something to you. It could be anything. It could be a thought in your head that could potentially trigger the brain to go into a fight, flight, freeze reaction, which these are what your sensations are, flight, flight, freeze reactions from a threatened brain or a brain that feels like it's in danger. And so it's pulling out of our past. The brain is making instantaneously calculations, instant calculations based on your past, what you've experienced, based on your beliefs, based on how you handle your emotions. Based on a multitude of factors, it instantly calculates a reaction, and many times it gets it wrong. Many times it overshoots, it overreacts. And then what happens for us here is that we start to think the symptom or sensation that the brain initially created is dangerous. Now we start to create a secondary reaction, which just enhances or amplifies or shows or reinforces to the brain that there is danger and threat. And that makes the symptom or sensation potentially worse or spread or become persistent. Okay, so the whole system here, the whole thing, the whole foundation is around danger and threat. Now, the danger and threat that the brain is perceiving, like I said, could be anything. And it can start to spread for a lot of people where it starts out with one thing, and then next thing they know, they're seeing a lot of things as dangerous and threatening. The brain is reacting now to chemicals, chemical sensitivity. It's reacting to food, food sensitivity, light sensitivity, sound sensitivity, touch sensitivity, movement sensitivity. So what could happen for some people is that it really generalizes, it really spreads into multiple types of sensitization. It's called central sensitization. I talked about that before in the channel. That is the result of the brain perceiving threat or danger, and it can multiply. Now, we need to come back to the primary understanding here, which is that you can ask yourself this very simple question. Is there any true danger or threat with what's happening? When the brain reacts, when it kicks up these somatic symptoms in your body or these like BS brain sensations, ask yourself a simple question. When it's triggered, is there something happening right here, right now, that's truly dangerous or threatening? That'll give you your answer. And the majority of the time, the answer will be no. No, there isn't. But just because you feel scared or afraid, or just because your sensations are up, spiked, does not mean that there's a true danger or threat. Remember, the brain gets it wrong a lot of times. It's predicting, it's anticipating, it's looking for danger and threat at all times. And especially if you've been through some danger and threat as a child or at other points in your life, your brain is going to be looking even more closely for danger or threat. That's called vigilance, hypervigilance. That's related to anxiety. Okay, so what we need to do is to teach our brains that there is no real danger or threat, that this is a perceived or overreaction of the brain to something it's thinking is dangerous or threatening. And you need to understand that the brain, again, the operating system of the brain has not been updated in a long, long time. So what it's doing, it's trying to protect you by making sure you don't experience anything close to what you experienced before, so you don't have to go through the same type of suffering or things that happen to you. So the brain will make a quick reaction to a person, to a place, like I said, to anything coming in your senses, to a potential thought you have, even to an emotion that maybe you've learned that is not good or is dangerous or threatening. Anger, for example, or any emotion, sadness, if these emotions weren't allowed to be expressed or they were deemed to be dangerous and not acceptable, well, the brain can learn that these emotions are too dangerous and it'll give you a physical symptom to alert you to the danger and threat. So it could be something like that. It could be absolutely anything. Your job is to distinguish, is there a real danger or threat with what's happening or not? When it comes to emotions, no. The answer is no. There is no danger in this moment with emotions. All emotions are okay. Or there is no true danger with this food I'm eating. There is no true danger with this light that's giving me a reaction, or this sound, or me going for a walk today for 5 or 10 minutes, or doing some other hobby or exercise, or going to work. So we need to distinguish, everybody. This is so important that you build your capacity of your prefrontal cortex, part of your brain, to distinguish between a real danger and threat and a perceived one. You cannot sit back and wait and rely upon your limbic brain to make that distinction. It will not. It's not able to. It doesn't have that capacity in that part of the brain. It's, again, called the reptilian brain. It's a prehistoric survival brain. It is making these calculations in real time, instantly, based off a lot of data. And many times it's overshooting, overreacting, because it rather protect you just in case versus having you suffer again or potentially die or go through some type of problem. So come back to the core premise here. Your brain is perceiving danger and threat, kicking off these sensations in your body. The body has no danger or threat in it. That's your foundation. Then we can go deeper to explore why the brain is perceiving this danger or threat. Why is it kicking this off in your body? Why is it feeling threatened? What are the reasons? Look to your past. We can explore that. Look to the present as well. In many cases, like I said, it's a combination of everything that we're looking at, the past, the present, and even just recently, how the sensations or symptoms themselves become a threat to somebody, and that magnifies or becomes a danger signal in the brain. So everybody listening today, you need to understand this, and it's not something you're going to learn or hear from many healthcare practitioners. It's the brain, not the body, that is perceiving the threat or danger. The danger or threat lives in the brain, not in the body. And you can have absolutely any sensation, any symptom in your body, the brain can produce to grab your attention, to make you stay alert, to make you scared, right? To put you into a fight, flight, freeze mode. Okay, it's a protective mode. So remember that as well. These are protective, a bit reactionary sensations from a brain that feels threatened or dangerous. So I hope you all understand this. Take this to heart. You're really going to have to cut through and make that distinction so you can learn to teach your own brains the difference between real danger and perceived danger. And for a while, you need to understand that your limbic brain may be reacting for a certain length of time because the software is not updated yet. You have to update your own software in your brain to teach it that, hey, brain, this is not the same thing. There is no threat or danger for me to walk into the store today. Even though you're absolutely killing me with these sensations and you're making me feel I should leave, and I'm feeling really nervous and scared. No, I'm going to stay in the store. I'm going to shop. I'm fine. This is a false alarm. So there's just one example I'm giving you right now of how this could work. And you need to continually teach and show and tell your brain that you're safe and that whatever this is that's triggering you is not truly threatening. The brain will eventually learn, update its operating system. And what will happen is you'll see that these sensations or these BS brain sensations start to quiet down. Okay. So if you like the video, again, give it a thumbs up. I'm just trying to shed more light on this process for all of you, that there's work to be done, but you're going to have to start with the foundation here of true danger and threat versus perceived danger and threat. That's a real foundational issue we're looking at. And the second thing is it's the brain, not the body. Okay. So take this to heart, everybody. If you'd like individual sessions or you need help on your journey, you're struggling, reach out, please. I want you all to be a success story. You can all get better. when you're having these conditions. It may take you some time. There's an undisclosed amount of time it takes to teach your brain this, but everybody can change. This is neuroplastic. These conditions, they are not permanent conditions as much as you might believe that. It's not true. So reach out if you need help on your journey. I also offer group coaching. We meet once a week for 2 hours a week. You can find out about all that information on my website, The Pain PT. I appreciate all of you, and we'll talk to you next time.